like that? Okay, thanks very much. So my name is Sandra Boulter. I've actually worked as a Director of Planning. I've worked as a counsellor. I've got a law degree. And I'd just like to talk to you tonight. Do you remember when Mick Malthouse went up a tree in the forest and Liberal members changed their vote and put Janet Woolard into the Parliament? Well, we're ready for that for planning and development. You've just got to think independent and so what I'd like to say, hold that thought. We all agree on the issues, and quite frankly, as happened with Al Capone, one needs to guide it laterally. Community groups, especially, you must wrap your protection around the elected members that are fighting for you. Yeah. Because I can tell you the mental stress of what Kerry's going through, what I went through at Cottesloe, I now shake whenever I go into that chamber, not as an elected member.
Yeah, here. Well done.
So please wrap yourselves around the effective elected members. Ask the questions for them so they don't have to ask it. Make the complaint for them so they don't have to make the complaint. Look after their mental health, because I can tell you it's bloody awful if they're at you. So before I just give you my 10 tips for intervention, I just wanted to say quickly, I was taking notes while everyone was speaking. So to Jan, I'd say, is Jan Decott in Coburn? Yes. Well, they've got a big enough budget to buy the golf course themselves and make it a reserve. Absolutely. To Nikki, I would say there's a clause in the Planning and Development Act about injurious affection when you get rezoned. So if your land's devalued, you can make a claim. So look into that. To add to Julie's comments, it is legally wrong for a CEO to tell a council they have to close a meeting. That you never have to close a meeting. There are grounds for closing a meeting, but council is never required to close a meeting. And to Kerry, the other thing I wanted to say was, remember, the staff have more money to spend on staff if they've got more houses, more rates. So they've got a bit of a conflict of interest when they're recommending to you, put in all this infill, because it's going to build their income so they can have more employees and higher salaries. And the CEO's salary remuneration band, one of the criteria for that is how many staff you've got. So let me say to you, here's the Mick Malthouse disruptors for those of you that are really courageous. And remembering, they got Al Capone on tax, not on murder. Always follow the money. You're beating your head up against a brick wall to fight planning and development. It's not possible. But you'll get rid of them and fix it if you follow the money. Always understand the requirements of the publicly accessible financial and delegation registers to see if your CEOs and EMs and employees have properly declared their financial interest. You can walk up to front counter and inspect it any time you want. If it's not current, make a complaint to the department. Councils can withdraw a power they've given to the CEO. So if there's a particularly contentious development application, the council can say, withdrawing the delegation has to come to council. You can't decide it. Councils can condition their delegated authority and say to the staff, yep, you've got delegated authority to approve all those developments, but you can only approve it as long as you comply with council policy. And if you think you need to depart from council policy, then you have to bring it back to council. Council, notwithstanding the amendments to Regulation 9, there's a section in the Act that says council can employ its own expert. So council could employ an expert employment lawyer to draft the CEO and employee contracts on a commercial basis. So next time a staff member is leaving, they change to a better contract. Councils under the Act can designate senior employees. And if council designates a senior employee, then the CEO can't hire, fire or renew a contract without council's approval. All of the senior employee designations were got rid of in the amalgamation campaign because the staff were protecting the senior employees. I won't explain that. But no one ever went back and put all the senior employees as designated senior employees again. Work towards neighbour appeal rights. The developers have got appeal rights against refusals, but we don't have appeal rights against approvals. They're called third-party appeal rights. Now, here's 2 stunts for you. A council can petition the Parliament of itself. So council could resolve to petition the Parliament for third-party appeal rights, put it out the front counter, they're the first signatory and everyone else can sign it. And here's an even better stunt that'll really upset everybody. A council could move an amendment to their planning scheme to introduce third-party appeal rights. It'll be knocked back because it's unlawful, but it's a way of telling the minister how serious you are about third-party appeal rights. I'm a member of Legima, I'm the Deputy Chair. Kerry Shannon and I set up...
What's Legima?
I'm going about to thank you very much, Ian. Kerry Shannon and I and a group of committed councillors and ex-councillors set up an association, incorporated association called the Local Government Elected Members Association, to give support, advice and information and mentoring to elected members who are suffering and are supporting good governance. We're small but we're growing. Please follow us on Facebook. Please give us any donations. If you're a member or a former member, you can become a member of Legima, and the bigger we get, the sooner they'll recognise us as a stakeholder. So if you want to be a Mick Malthouse, you've always wanted to do something naughty or bad. I used to stand under the trees watching him up there, but I was the lawyer giving the advice. I don't think you've ever climbed a tree and sat in a tree platform. You can disrupt by just inspecting the supposedly public accessible information at the front counter. Wrap yourselves around your good elected members, protect their mental health, protect them, because I can't tell you how hard it is. There's an elected member out here as I speak. I don't know if she'll admit to it. I can't even begin to tell you how many complaints she's had against it at the standards panel. Would you like to tell us? Is she still here? Oh, she's gone. Dozens. I had 9. Anyway, so, and it's very, very stressful.
Well,
thank you very much.
Sandra. Thank you so much. Well, I'm not going to say very much.